Avatar Last Airbender. This is the first episode of Season 3. That's right, we're finally in the last season of the show. And I will be talking about Legend of Korra, by the way, when I'm done with this show. But I'm going to finish this show first. I like this episode quite a bit. This episode sets up a lot for the season of the show. First of all, it sets up the show is a lot darker of a story. And just for the first bit of this episode, you see Aang wake up. He thinks he's on a Fire Nation ship, and Aang and the gang basically explain what happened. Basically, Aang died. Katara used spirit healing water to basically save Aang's life. Like, he literally died and was brought back, which is crazy. That's a moment that I kind of forgot. Like, I knew she'd heal him with spirit water, but I forgot the detail that he literally fucking died. And so right now the whole world thinks Aang's dead, and they're moving along with their plan for the secret invasion on the day of the eclipse, but while trying to keep Aang secret. And so that's kind of the basis of where our season is going so far. But Aang is having to grapple with the fact that, hey, he thinks he failed the world once again and he's dead. Which, I think that's something that the gang doesn't really think about, the fact that if Aang's dead, that is something he will naturally feel. Also, it does plunge the world into less hope. Now, I think it is for the greater good in a sense, from their perspective, but still. Aang is devastated by this, and you know, you see that moment where Katara is mad at her dad the whole episode, and she makes up with her dad, and they forgive each other about her feelings about her dad leaving and things like that. And that was a beautiful moment. A lot of great moments like that in this episode. But just our gang realizes this is what they got to do, and is coming to grips with the fact that, look, it's not my fault this war happened. It's not my fault all this shit's going down. I just gotta fix it. And our journey begins for the season. Zuko subplot as he returns to Fire Nation. His dad now thinks that he was the one who killed the Avatar, even though Zuko at this point suspects the Avatar is alive. Though I don't know if Zuko actually suspects the Avatar is alive. I think Zuko more. This is just my interpretation, at least. Zuko has to believe that Avatar is alive because his whole belief up until this point is he had to capture the Avatar and that was his destiny. Well, he didn't do that. And so what does he have now that he's home? And that's kind of what we see more throughout the season. Azula, you know, being the nasty bitch she is and stuff. And then what I mean by this season is darker too, is you see all these subplots going on, and it's a lot of like death and just, you know, more tragedy, and then you see, you know, the fact that they actually conquered the Earth Kingdom, like Ba Sing Se and shit, and that's where that's going. And so, you know, like the war is actually getting more intense because the Fire Nation is getting more control, and so that's kind of where the season's going. I thought this was a great reintroductory to the season that set up the darker stages of what's going to happen, and really showing us why this is the season where the Fire Nation needs to be finally taken down and move into its next step.